With me now to break this down from the Heritage Foundation, Hans von Spakovsky. Hans, good to see you.
Hi, Liz. Good to see you, too.
All right, Hans, Biden's name was on the list of Obama administration officials who requested the unmasking of General Flynn's name. January 17th, Vice President Joseph R. Biden. React to that.
You know, I'm just really surprised to hear that because, you know, the vice president, why would he be getting intelligence reports about Michael Flynn, the incoming national security advisor for President Trump? You know, the vice president's on his way out. I wouldn't think that would be any of his concern, particularly because he doesn't have any direct supervision over either the intelligence agencies or the FBI.
It also contradicts Biden's own words. He said, I believe this week, that he wasn't involved at all in this plot to frame Michael Flynn. And then he corrected himself and said, oh, he knew about it, but he still wasn't involved. It seems to me he was very involved if he requested the unmasking of Flynn's name.
Yeah, that's why the information that Grinnell, the acting director of national intelligence, the information that he has sent over to the Attorney General's office about the unmasking, we need to know who was targeted and who did all of the unmasking, because if individuals were unmasked, if intelligence intercepts were used for partisan political purposes instead of actual and real counterintelligence efforts, that is an outrageous abuse of our intelligence agencies and the work they're supposed to be doing.
And I think that's pretty obvious from what we've seen. Obama's chief of staff's name is, at the time, his chief of staff is also on that list of those who requested the unmasking of Michael Flynn. I don't understand the mainstream media's attitude or Democrats' attitude towards this. They are, in the wake of this news breaking today, downplaying the significance. They're saying this is routine. This is normal. Nothing to see here, folks. Hans, why?
I really don't understand that. I have no doubt that if the Bush administration, for example, had been using our intelligence agencies to spy on Democratic officials, Democratic campaign workers, and others like that, there would be outrage, quite properly, about that kind of misuse of our intelligence agencies. And I really don't understand why they are not concerned about this. It's in some ways a little bit similar to, remember, Eric Holder eavesdropped and spied on media organizations. And while there was some reaction to it, there was nowhere close to the kind of reaction I think we would have seen if a Republican president was doing the same thing.
It's inappropriate. I mean, this should go without saying. It's inappropriate and likely unlawful, regardless of what political party you're in. Imagine if the Trump administration did this. The heads of the mainstream media pundits would explode on live television, and perhaps as they should. This behavior should never be accepted from citizens, regardless of what party is in control of the executive branch at that time. The significance of the date, Hans, that's the next thing I want to ask you about. This happened literally within 1 week of President Trump taking office. How significant do you believe that is to the FBI DOJ plot to frame Michael Flynn so that Michael Flynn could not oversee what the FBI had done to Carter Page and Crossfire Hurricane and all of that malfeasance the summer before?
Look, I think it's very significant, particularly because, remember, the Justice Department has now asked the court to approve dismissal of this because one of the key things they say is the FBI had no legitimate basis on which to be investigating Flynn and interviewing him because there was no evidence that he had actually violated the law. And that, again, shows an abuse of the FBI's authority and perhaps a political partisan targeting of the president's national security advisor.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, it's remarkable that James Comey has faced no accountability. It's remarkable that Adam Schiff still has a job. He knew about these transcripts. He said nothing. It's remarkable that nobody in the media or the Democratic side will ask Joe Biden. They want this man to be president so badly. They're willing to overlook him abusing his power when he was vice president to target an incoming member of an administration because he didn't like that administration, all in an effort to cover up FBI malfeasance. I mean, it sounds like something out of a thriller novel, but it all happened in Washington, D.C. under the nose of us, the American people. It's shocking. Hans,
right.
Thanks for being on the show.